So my friends, welcome to this short tutorial, and we are just creating this to respond to a question that was asked during the day 4 session of our business data analytics with Excel, and the topic we treated that day was conditional formatting. And the question was, how can we use conditional formatting to highlight the least quoted price for each item across several vendors. You could have up to 20 vendors, each vendor quoting for up to 50, 100, million items. And then for each item, we want to find out who quoted the least. Item number 1 amongst vendor 1, vendor 2, up to vendor 5 or vendor 20, who quoted the least for each item. And this is one of the interesting aspects of conditional formatting, where you need to apply formulas. You can apply formulas, you can also apply direct Excel inbuilt functions. So let's get started. First of all, let us assign values to this field. And I'm going to use a function to assign that. It's called round between. So the prices we are going to get, we are defining the minimum or the bottom value as 100. And then let's say we have 1,000 or 10,000 values. And so I'm going to control and enter so that it can duplicate across all. Now you will see that these are all randomly generated. So if I do any operation, say I type something here and I enter, the numbers are going to generate again. Or if I press F9, the numbers will keep changing. We would like to keep it that way so that by the time we are done formatting, we'll see if the numbers change, what we have applied will also change in tune with the values. Now, for us to apply that function or formula in conditional formatting, we need to understand how that function works. The function that we are interested in is called minimum. So minimum is an inbuilt function that identifies the minimum or the least, the smallest value in a series or in a range. It can be in series, it can be in a range. So minimum helps you to identify that. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. And here, let's get this. And I want to use the minimum. Okay, you see, it returns the smallest value in a set of values. So I activate this. This is a range. So I enter. This is 1. So if I come here and I write -9, it changes to -9 because this is the smallest. Okay? So this is how it works. So we must understand the functions, because when we begin to apply the formulas and functions in those kind of wizards, like the conditional formatting, the data validation wizard, these screen tips, these helps, then the drop downs will not be there. So you need to understand what the functions that you are using. Now let's go ahead and select our range. Note also that this selection starts from C3, and so that is where we are going to apply our function from. So having selected this range, I'm going ahead to click conditional formatting, and I want to click here. So it's either you put new rule, or so let's just pick any one of them. So I'm going to create a new rule. Remember I said we're going to use a function, so a formula. And so here I'm going to say equals C3. So I'm saying C3 is equals to minimum. So I'm going to open the bracket by myself. And because we are looking row by row, you see this item number 1, vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, they are all in columns. And so we are looking at a row to see the values, which one is the least. So what it means is that the minimum, the series is here in a row. And because we are looking in a row, we are going to fix the column. So by selection, this is already fixed, but we don't want it. So I'm going to hit my F4 until it comes to the column to fix it. So I have used absolute cell referencing to lock the columns. Now, if it finds the minimum in this series, what color should we apply? Let's apply this or this, depending on what color you want. So I OK this, I OK this. Let me apply it and see what happens. When I apply it, we see that for this, now let's go ahead and OK it so that we get out of that point. You see that this, between 4,377, this is the list. For item number 2, the list was quoted by vendor 5. Item number 3, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to hit F9 so that the numbers will randomly change again. And let's see the new vendors with the least prices for each item. So I press F9. Vendor 2 now wins item number 1. Let's put our eyes on item number 1 and 2 and see how those values move. So vendor 1 is now in charge of item 1, and then vendor 5 wins that. Okay, so this is how you use conditional formatting to highlight the list. Now, I'm going to do something again. Let me clean here. I'm going to transpose this so that my vendors are like this and the items are across. So I'm going ahead to click this. Okay, by the way, let's just hold the entire, select the entire. I'm selecting this, and right here I'm going to transpose this, so it becomes like this. Okay, so let me remove this, and now the reason why I transpose this is we are going to look vertically now. Item number 1 is here. You know, the first time it was like this, so we had to lock the columns. Now that we are looking into column, vendor 1 here, vendor 2, number 3, and then they quoted for each of these items. So what we want to do now is, let's see how we can look in each column. It's still the same principle. All we need to do is just to change it. Let me reduce this. All we need to do is to change where we lock. Okay, so I've selected the range, and I'm going to conditional comment. Let me click. Let's see here. We have this applying. I don't want this, so it's either I delete it, because this is the one that came from where I copied. And by the way, I would like to let you know that when you copy a set of data that has conditional formatting, you're also copying that alongside, so you need to be aware of that. So let me just delete it, apply, it goes off. So I'm creating a new one. So we are going to use this again. Remember, we are going to use this very first one, which in this case now is J3. So equals to J3 is equals to minimum. Open my brackets. Now remember that we are looking in columns, so I am going to either select this or type it. So I'm going to type J3. This is my J3 up to J7. Now, because we are looking in a column, we are going to fix the rows. Again, I select this, my range, I hit my F4. Both the column and the rows are fixed, but that's not what we want. We want only the rows. So I hit again. So here we are. The rows are fixed because we are looking in a column. Now, if he sees that, what do we apply? Okay, let's go ahead and apply blue. We okay it, apply. Now you see that each row, the vendor with the least price for that item is highlighted. So let's okay this and get out of here. Again, because these are randomly selected applied number, I'm going to hit my F9, and then the figures keep changing to really give us the true picture of what we have applied. Alright, so this is how you use conditional formatting to help you in your bid analysis. This is not only applicable in bid analysis, it's also applicable if you are supporting facilities. You want to see who has performed better. You know, if the values are small, it's easy to pick out manually. But when the values and the records are large, you have up to 50 facilities or 50 companies that you are assessing, it becomes difficult. So you need conditional formatting to help you speed up your work and improve your efficiency. So in our next class coming up next Saturday, we'll be looking into other areas of conditional formatting where we'll be using other forms of formulas and inbuilt functions to solve our problems, and use conditional formatting to highlight those things and visualize them for us. Alright, so this is the end of this short video, and I hope you put your hands and try them. Try to have fun working around this, and then we'll see you next Saturday. Thanks. Have a lovely day.